Alright, so I haven't done this in a while. Daryl's doing a punch list on a customer car. We're getting ready to polish it and get out of here. I spent the first portion of this afternoon actually building some stands and such. So let's, I want to kind of show you the shit I do to make my life easier around the shop. I've showed you some of the gadgets I made. The mud trolley, the plasma cutter cart. I'll zoom around. If folks have any questions on these, on the idea in my head. There's no plans for any of this. I started chopping up scrap or whatever I had on hand and made shit. So let's kind of peek around. That repertoire has expanded. But I got a big ass heavy frame. It's actually a 4.5-inch channel iron. I wanted it heavy, but it's a tree, 4 bumpers. You know, you can carry 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 per side. More than enough for any shop. On wheels, of course. Like I said, this is stuff that was essentially leftovers, scrap. Friends and family bring me chunks of metal when they find them. Customers bring chunks of metal when they find them. This started off, it was these 4 legs up and this, and these bars shot all the way out. I cut them off. These were too short. I just did the lazy and used a 2-ton come along, pulled them together. But I'm confident we can at least put a pickup box or a pickup cab on this. I made another cart and I blew out the casters. It's adjustable. I showed you that. Well, here's one you all have seen. The mud trolley, all accessorized out for ease of use. Yeah, I got that one built this week because really I had that frame rolling around. It was in my way, so I dug out casters and got busy. This little guy I've had around since before I was running a shop. Well, that is the cart that I screwed casters from a broken creeper on. We're going to build more of those so we can stack up a customer's tires, roll them in a corner, and cover them. This was a rolling dolly cart. It's only got 3 wheels. That was in the shop when we moved here, and I just got carpenter scraps that were laying around. I have a tendency to build a lot of that shit, but now those fenders are positioned in the correct attitude to paint. If you have a high flop or a heavy flop in a paint, this one does. I got some positioning and such to do to get a proper paint job, you can see there, but they're pretty much how they need to be. I've made a few of these panel stands. They're not as, you know, these have come down in price through my main vendor, so I went ahead and picked some up. Another oldie, my little welding table. Like I said, I'm just going to go around and show you stuff that I've had and shown, and stuff that I've built recently. Again, those are casters off of a broken creeper. I go through like 3 of them a year. The creeper gives out before the casters do. That stand I went ahead and built out of what I had laying around for my planishing hammer. It's a good stand. There's that. You know, these are the things I make to make my life easier. This is a crappy vise. It was already welded to that plate, so I welded it to the table. I used this. I welded this on here. It's actually what I shaped the piece of metal for this fender that I sectioned in. You can see one little booger. Actually, that's not even a booger. I got one little spot right there. I got to actually dolly around. I hammered it out too proud. I used some angle iron and cheap casters on that, so I've got a functional horizontal bandsaw. The clamp broke, so I used a pair of welding clamps. That's the stand I made for it. It's the right height. My oxygen acetylene cart. Again, I show most of this shit off. We're just doing a quick zoom through. The main affair's in the paint booth. I'll have to show you that. My unfinished welding cart. I never finished it. I had these tucked inboard more, and this it was a bad deal. I wanted cutting it off and moving them out. I still need to do a bar or a strap, something, a chain around the top of that because it's a little weevily, and that's not a good thing. Here's a second mud trolley that I started. Jeremy quit, it got shoved in the corner. That's the other card I was talking to you about. The 71 C10 you all saw me do. That's what the cab sat on. I put that, oh goodness, what was it? 70 something Firebird on this, and it crushed the casters. They just weren't heavy enough. You know, just shop tables, whatever. I build out of the scrap that I've got on hand generally. Rarely do I go get more steel for these. Alright, kind of the coolest shit that I've put together as of late. I made this a while back. See, it's a little H-frame, and you can actually hang tailgates. You take the guts out, and where the latch mechanisms go, you can hang a tailgate in there, and they're wide enough that various tailgates can fit. A little A-frame I built to hang parts off of a couple years ago. Also, with the tailgate mechanism, I went ahead and did this, and I can actually hang a door. These are adjustable. I just bent some sheet metal, put a bolt through it to clamp it down. So these are adjustable, so you can slide them up or down. You can hang a door on either end. I went ahead and had to wing out bracing, otherwise it would have tipped the whole thing, and it's still not the most stable. I wouldn't suggest that exact design. We'll go back here. I built another A-frame because I could and I needed it. Then we get to these. These are actually what I'm really happy with. I built all three of these just today. These were all scrap metal. I had to go up and get the round rod. I was out of round rod. But see, you squeeze these, and it's 1/4 inch and 5/16 depending on the stand. The fender stands are 1/4 inch round rod. And what you've got is you got this one. You know, I've just built a standard base. It's a little weebly, but it's not like it's hanging and spinning and twirling on you. So I got this little piece of tubing, these welded to it. This tubing slides in and out. Once you lock these in and these in, you don't have to have a bolt here to lock anything in. You can carry this around the shop. I did, in fact. But now, there you go. That kind of works for that. Another one, again, same design. And what these do is, it's far enough up that you can squeeze them together and maneuver them. I'll probably trim these off in length because this is my first one I built. But what you're left with is something that's very pliable, back and forth. You can squeeze them together. It's easy to load these onto without screwing too much up. Probably put just a thin little bit of tape around them eventually. And again, this slides, so as the mounts or whatever. And then this one here, same type of base, it slides as well. I use 5/16 round rod and 1/4 inch round rod welded into that, and that's what gives you, that'll go down in, it rests on the 5/16, and it slides in and out. And then you've got 5/16 round rod up here. Traps all that in. Now all of a sudden I can get down here and I can paint this properly. So I just kind of walk around in my world and the gadgets that make my life easier. I got a phone ringing, so I'll check with you folks later. Wow, made it to the end of the video. Thanks for checking in. Come back on the next one. See what the hell we're up to next time. Subscribe, comment. Find us on over on the old Facebook, Smith Welding Restoration LLC on Facebook. Numbers at the beginning. Have any questions? Call.